Ladies and gentlemen, we got it.
I've earned everything I've got.
Yeah, good.
Mr. Gorbachev.
You didn't build that.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Yeah, good.
Tear down this wall.
Your favorite president?
Tear down this wall.
I can see Russia from my house. Pokemon go to the polls.
Ask not. Yeah, good. What your country.
He did say well alive.
And we're back. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Hello, Lucia. It's been too long.
Too long. Happy Thanksgiving week for all who acknowledge food and celebrate.
For everyone who celebrates, a happy Thanksgiving week to you and to yours.
We are recording in sort of a Thanksgiving prep stupor. Of course, it's not like Thanksgiving can resume as normal because we're in a pandemic. But I think that's just incentivized us to cook more and eat more.
Yeah, we're really going crazy.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some Thanksgiving stuff today, Luch.
Yeah, so before we get into the meat of things, the white meat or the dark meat, whichever meat floats your gravy boat, let's do a little overview of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, okay. So, Thanksgiving. The Festival of Lights.
The Festival of
Festival
Lights.
of Delights.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving, of course, is an American and Canadian holiday that dates back to the Pilgrim times.
Facts about Thanksgiving are disputed, and a lot of that is because, in general, American history is very whitewashed, and also because, they didn't have computers back then, and, really you should take with a grain of salt or brine, turkey brine,
Hey.
anything that's like. And then the Pilgrims, and I'll say Indians because that's how a lot of the writing about... That's right, Penny. She did not like that I said Indians. Indigenous people. Okay, Penny. It's anything that says, then they were all friends that hung out. You gotta take that with a grain of turkey brine.
Take it with a grain of sea salt on the turkey brine.
Yeah, that's very salty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, so it's hard to get the cold, hard, gelatinous, cranberry-shaped facts about Thanksgiving.
It's hard to get the facts out of the can.
And it's like, does it really matter? Because we generally know shit was bad, shit was racist, but maybe at one point people shared some recipes.
Yeah. And I'll cut through the bull hockey.
Yeah, cut through the turkey with the turkey cutter. What is it called?
A knife?
No, the carve through.
Yeah.
The
Turkey
bullshit.
washing and carver.
Okay. I'm in charge of puns.
Sorry, I accept that's out of my departmental boundaries. So, let me cut through the bull hockey here a little bit. All right?
Sounds like some Canadian Thanksgiving jargon.
Let me take out my big malarkey shears
Ugh.
and get to the truth of it. Okay? The historical first Thanksgiving is a bit of a myth. I think that's probably not going to be surprising to anybody. Thanksgiving, as it is practiced, it does celebrate a harvest feast that was had in 1621, but there was nothing particularly unique about it. It was like a big 3-day feast. It was a nice thing between natives and pilgrims. But these kind of things did happen. It wasn't like this was the only time that this happened, that they came together for a meal. There have been fowling expeditions between Wampanoag natives and pilgrims. There was a cultural exchange.
Yeah, it seems like there was a cultural exchange, and there was, because I mean, even though it doesn't seem like the Pilgrims had a lot to offer the natives, other than like, we won't kill you if whatever, it still seemed like historically there was this degree of like, well, I guess we don't want all these people to die, and I guess we'll...
Yeah, I mean, there was no reason to want them to die either until they all started fighting.
And there is documented, like, you know, Pilgrims and Native Americans getting along.
Yeah,
and
this was a fight.
it's really not black and white.
This is a fight that the colonists picked with the natives.
Yeah.
Like, they were fine for a bit there. I mean, they recently, quote-unquote, solved the mystery of Roanoke by showing that the settlers of Roanoke just left to join the Croatoans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a fight that Pilgrims picked. But until then, there were exchanges culturally like this. In addition, the Puritans in New England practiced Thanksgivings all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They had Thanksgiving feasts to God a lot. It was like a regular thing that they did.
Yeah, a good thing to be pointed out, and this is why, you know, this is why it's definitely okay to take out the, you know, the propaganda of Pilgrim and Native American, you know, like by making that holiday all about that, it's taking away from the fact that Thanksgiving is literally a, you know, celebrated since the dawn of time harvest festival of gratitude that
Exactly.
every culture has basically a November harvest thing, because then in December everything's dead and cold, and then they have their pagan Yule time, etc.
Exactly. So that's what we're talking about today. That's what we're celebrating tomorrow. So it wasn't until 1863 that Abraham Lincoln officially made what he called a day of thanksgiving and praise to our beneficent Father who dwelleth in the heavens. He made it a national holiday.
So he's like, I want a national holiday just for my dad. That's not cool.
Yeah, Lincoln famously just loved his dad. And it was to be celebrated last Thursday in November. And then Ulysses S. Grant in 1870, he signed into law the Holidays Act that made Thanksgiving a yearly appointed federal holiday in D.C. In 1885, Congress made Thanksgiving and other federal holidays paid holidays for federal workers. And then Franklin Roosevelt, he moved the date forward a week, and it was celebrated then between 39 and 41. And people were furious. There was like a big controversy. People were like really, really mad about it. And so finally in 1942, Congress said that it will have a permanent date, permanent Thanksgiving date, the fourth Thursday in November. And that's it. And that's what it's been ever since.
Wow.
So we'll take a second to talk about that first Thanksgiving. Now that we've seen how it developed, right, as law, as culture, we can take a second to actually talk about that one in 1621. Because they had days of Thanksgiving all the time. But it's worth talking about, what is this one? Why is this the one that has been pegged as the first Thanksgiving? And the answer is that Penny is loud. So part of the reason is that it has to do with Mayflower survivors. Right? So you have the people in the Mayflower, they're in Plymouth, Mass. They're all fucked up, starving, dying.
Just really gross.
What?
Just really gross.
Yeah, it's really gross. They're really gross. Everything is really, really gross. And they end up meeting a member of the local Patuxet tribe who is called Squanto. Famously Squanto. Squanto's deal, his claim to fame, is that he can speak English.
Damn.
And all the colonists were like, what?
Couldn't he speak English because he was like kidnapped?
I was going to say it's because he was kidnapped and sold into slavery for a while by an English sea captain.
Americans love a kidnapped slave.
Hey,
At
these
least
are
that helps
Brits
us.
that did
Okay.
this.
The Brits love it as well.
So basically Squanto helped teach the Pilgrims there from the Mayflower how to survive. How to cultivate corn, how to get sap out of maple trees.
Did you say he was the maze runner?
Squanto was the maze runner.
Okay.
That's for damn sure. So, and Squanto also helped set up the alliance with the Wampanoag, who were a nearby tribe that for like 50 years made it so that they could survive. In November 1621, the Pilgrims have their first maize harvest that is successful. So the governor, William Bradford, calls for one of their favorite things, a Thanksgiving feast, and invites them up to the
They're
Wampanoag.
like, oh shit,
Squanto,
let's have a feast. This corn grew.
It's more like, oh, bruv, yeah, this corn,
Oh,
it's good as hell.
this corn is on the cob.
This corn's good as, mate. We're having it.
We having it. We ain't dying today.
No, aye. No blokes, no birds dying in Massachusetts today.
Oh,
Simple as.
huzzah. One thing I remember is that they taught them like how fertilize, which makes me want. I mean, I know that the Americas have completely different climate and stuff, but it's so funny. Like it's like, hey, plant this in the ground and then put some. Like I remember as a kid, it was like we bury fish in with the corn, which I always thought was very funny. Like first we plant the corn, then we plant the fish. That's how but like taught them like here's how we fertilize it. And
Yeah,
it just
I mean,
it
for the
always
record, they knew what fertilizer was.
no, it's just really funny because it always feels like the Pilgrims just had no idea how to grow anything. I know they didn't have that local knowledge, but it's just always very
the
funny.
Pilgrims come off as like Brooklyn hipsters who go intern at a farm.
Yeah.
In like Vermont.
Like,
and they're
what?
like, I don't have any idea what I'm doing.
I read about Thanksgiving, like what would really be at the Pilgrims' Thanksgiving meal, and it was saying like swan, lobster, mussels, because apparently there was a lot of seafood nearby.
Yeah, they're on the bay.
Yeah, and so they're and then when they would go hunting, sure they might catch turkeys, but they also could just as much be catching like swan and stuff. So they're real freaks.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
I want to do that. So that's the history of the actual meal of Thanksgiving. Should we talk some more about the different traditions and things involved, or should we move it into the realm of the political?
I think we should move it into the realm of the political. I think it's interesting that Lincoln and Grant, they were the ones that were really pushing Thanksgiving being nationalized, because in the context it's like, well, the Civil War sucked and you all had to kill your brothers and cousins.
Yeah.
So let's
Civil War was not over when...
Yeah, but I'm saying like, let's let's just have a day where we're all thankful and celebrating, and let's not think about how we're all killing our brothers and cousins. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I think that you're right. Last cultural thing, the association between football and Thanksgiving goes back to the 19th century. It's been a part of it for almost as long as there's been a Thanksgiving.
Why?
Professional games are usually held, of course, on Thanksgiving Day. In fact, traditionally, it was the only day of the week, besides Sunday and Monday, when they showed football games, which is now not the case necessarily. But, so, big football day. And we love it. Frankly, me and Penny here, we love it.
So, I think as we go into the modern day with our Thanksgiving discussion, I'll read this quote from yesterday. Trump said this at the turkey pardoning. He said, "Thanksgiving is a very special day for turkeys. Not a very good one when you think about it." So, he's just laying it all out there.
Profound.
It's a day for turkeys, but not a good one.
Yeah. Profound.
Just another one of his beautiful, profound statements.
We love it. So, you mentioned he was at some kind of event yesterday?
Yeah, you know how the president is supposed to pardon people that deserve to be pardoned, like Edward Snowden or people in jail for marijuana.
Yeah.
Instead,
or General Michael Flynn, who was just now pardoned.
Oh my God.
Breaking
Maybe
news.
that's Trump calling him a turkey.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So every year, a president that loves a turkey very much.
The president and a turkey that love each other very much.
Yeah, they decide to make an agreement where they don't kill that turkey. And so this year, amidst Trump losing the election, but spending all his time not giving people pandemic aid and just focusing on recounts and stuff, it seems like whatever intern is in charge of organizing the turkey pardoning and tweeting about it, they made like a turkey, what's the word?
They made like almost like turkey baseball cards.
Yeah.
With the hobbies and dreams and hometowns of these turkeys. And it really bummed me out.
Yeah. It was like, let's see, did you share it on the... Okay, it was like, meet your National Thanksgiving Turkey candidates. First up, Corn, who loves college football and hopes to visit the Iowa State Fair one day. Maybe this is how they present everything to Trump, like it's a beauty pageant, because that's all he knows how to do.
Probably.
Like it's like, hey, Trump, should we bomb Syria? Syria, she's a 5'6" beauty who... Anyway, so Corn... It says when he was hatched, instead of birth date, hatched July 2nd, 2020. Gives his weight, favorite snack, sweet corn. Corn loves sweet corn. Personality type, chatty. Favorite sport, college football. Breast size, double D. No, it doesn't say breast size. Favorite pastime, storm chasing. So this intern is very bored because there's literally nothing else to do working for the White House right now. Fitness goal, perfecting the high jump. So basically, like, if he didn't choose Corn, it would be very upsetting. Cobb, meanwhile, likes to play pickleball and wants to see the monuments in Washington, D.C. It's really like help Corn go see those monuments. He'll never get to see them. Or Cobb, sorry. Cobb's favorite pastime is puzzles. Okay, so that's very upsetting. And I think Trump pardoned both.
Trump pardoned Corn. I just looked this up. Trump pardoned Corn, but it is expected that both will probably survive because that's been the tradition.
Because Trump is a merciful.
Because Trump wants to end the wars.
And Trump thinks turkey's too dry, and he will be eating a McChicken.
That's right. Yeah, it's been, I think, pretty much the entire time that they actually keep both turkeys alive.
Yeah, because it's depressing.
How gnarly would it be if they were like, all right, Cobb, and they just take a big, like, meat cleaver and just chop his head off on live TV? That would be bad.
That's how you get ratings. The biggest ratings. So a video surfaced of Trump. When was it?
2018.
In 2018.
Pardoning a 41-pound unit named Carrots. And no, I'm sorry. He's actually pardoning peas. He's saying that Carrots, I believe, is lost.
Where's the peas tape, Trump?
Trump, where's the peas tape? Well, this was the peas tape.
Oh, they released the peas tape.
And so he says, Carrots refuses to accept the results of the election. Refuses to concede. Not a good day for Carrots. But he lost. Sorry.
That's what he says.
Pretty much.
Doesn't he say like he wanted a recount?
Yeah.
So
like
just in the another Thanksgiving tradition of that, there's a video of Trump saying something of every single thing
a hypocrite.
Of being a hypocrite. So that's a little rundown. It's always shocking when you see these turkeys because they are so giant.
Turkeys are big.
In connection with last week's episode, there is a famous episode of The West Wing where C.J. Craig, she is put in charge of like watching the turkeys that the president has to pardon, and she's like,
I think she's in charge of picking one too.
I think so, because I think that Martin
she can't
Sheen is
pick.
like, yeah, she can't pick. She basically, it's about a woman with a career, no husband, no kids,
Pro Kathy situation.
falling in love with 2 turkeys.
Act.
It's a good episode. It's a fun Thanksgiving episode.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
You know, when you're watching your Friends episode where Joey gets a turkey on his head.
A classic.
And I think where they just have a bunch of Monica in a fat suit.
Or the New Girl episode where they go camping.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a classic Thanksgiving one.
Yeah, so, or the Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers has, like, famous Thanksgiving episodes, but there's...
Isn't there Miyazaki tribute one a Thanksgiving episode?
I think so.
I think so.
And then there's one where Linda Belcher sings a song about killing the turkey, and it's one of our favorite songs, so we sing
We'd
along.
love to sing it.
We're not going to sing it right now,
Why not?
because we don't do music on this podcast.
We don't do music on this show.
So, anyway,
So let's talk about pardoning turkeys.
Yeah,
I'm not just talking about Michael Flynn.
not just Michael Flynn. He's a jive turkey.
Yeah.
There's apparently people used to give turkeys and raccoons to the president in the 1920s as gifts. So it feels like that's kind of where it started, was people started bringing turkeys to the president, and he was kind of like, I always say he because
it's been a he.
it's been a he.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say.
And he's basically like, oh, what the fuck do I do with all these turkeys? Like,
because turkey farmers were trying to like, hey.
Yeah, it would actually did start as like a promote my turkey.
Yeah, because Harry Truman.
I want to see you driving around in my turkey.
Harry Truman, 1947, he started a thing called Meatless Tuesdays and Poultryless Thursdays, in order to save grain.
What an anti-American. It's so funny how much Americans, like, the very idea of, like, you're going to take our meat, you're going to take our whatever. And, like, that's been a thing, like, rationing and, you know, as a culture, as a country, being like, hey, we need to conserve these things. But I guess Americans have always kind of responded with, like, hey, you're going to take our
You're
meat.
fucking telling us. So this year, not this year, 1947, it became a thing because Thanksgiving and Christmas were both on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. And there was a truce called. They could have their poultry on...
Turkey truce.
But there was still eggless Thursdays, and people were like, "Put my pumpkin back!" And so Truman did a live event.
Truman Capote.
Yeah, Harry S. Truman Capote. He did a live celebration of Thanksgiving, basically a large presentation, and was gifted turkeys. Mm-hmm. Now he didn't pardon them.
Shit.
That wasn't part of it.
What did he do?
He just said, "Thanks for the turkeys," and took them. And he did not enjoy that.
Uh-oh, she's going for the laptop.
And so they kept up this tradition, and of having the turkeys presented publicly. Mm-hmm. But Eisenhower ate all of his that were presented to him.
That bastard. Okay.
The first one to give a formal reprieve to a turkey was our Lord and Savior John F. Kennedy. 3 days before the CIA killed him,
Oh my
November
god.
19th, 1963, he was presented with a turkey for Thanksgiving, and he said, "Hey Rob, we'll let this one grow." It had a sign that said, "Good eating, Mr. President." And he was like, no. And sent it off to a farm.
I think they meant good evening, Mr. President. Wow. So
And then 3 days later...
coincidence? I think not. Okay, so the mob was very upset that Kennedy was messing with Cuba, where they were doing their gambling, and they were upset with
They were upset that Kennedy wasn't messing with Cuba.
Okay, and they were upset.
They were upset that Castro was in Cuba.
Yeah, and they were upset with Kennedy for a lot of things. But the real nail in the proverbial Kennedy coffin was when he didn't take down those turkeys like he was supposed to.
That's right. Those turkeys were supposed to go kill Castro. And you refused
Oh
to send
shit, they were assassin turkeys.
Yeah.
First they send a exploding cigar. Doesn't kill him. But they could have sent an exploding turkey.
That's right. Would have eaten it and been like, I love it.
And then...
So Kennedy did not call this a pardon. Not that he had much opportunity to explain it at all.
Yeah.
But
he was just... Yeah.
But local, like, scattered news reports about it did refer to it as a pardon. And then Richard Nixon, similarly when he was president, he said, "I'm not going to cook.
I'm not going to cook
I'm not going to cook."
these turkeys.
And he let them go as well.
Damn.
Jimmy Carter, obviously.
I can't tell, were they lazy or did they care?
I think that Kennedy was authentically empathetic about that big fat turkey. I think that Nixon had a guilty conscience. Nixon was just trying to lay the groundwork for the biggest turkey pardoning of them all.
His own.
When Ford pardoned him.
Oh God, I'm so tired. Going back to modern day Trump turkey pardoning, when I was looking up stuff about the turkey pardoning, I just thought it was so amusing because the news cycle, like especially with the pandemic, like the news cycle is so dire that these were the headlines, some of the headlines. Corn bests Cobb. Trump pardons lucky Thanksgiving turkey, but avoids political jokes. It's kind of a normal headline. But then there's lame duck pardons turkey. Trump confronts reality at muted Thanksgiving event. That's how they always report something that Trump does. Like, it's always like, you know, it may have looked successful, but...
Actually, it was bad.
It was, and he was gonna talk about Russia any minute. Like, that's always what they read into it. Like, and Melania looks all happy, and there's a picture of Melania having the big monster Christmas tree being brought in, and she's all smiling. And it's just so funny because, like, she fucking hates Christmas.
Yeah.
She's a one-woman war on Christmas. But so it seems like it's interesting. I saw one headline that was like, which this is also how the media refers to Trump in a nutshell, where they act like Trump's the next Hitler, but they also love it when he does presidential things like bombing countries or doing the turkey pardoning. So it said like, thank goodness Trump does the turkey pardoning. Like, it's like, does that matter? Of course he's going to do
the turkey pardoning also.
But they're like, he's finally he's not shaking things up. He's
done the turkey pardoning every year.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for him to go up and give jokes and be the big man.
Yeah.
That's the only part of being president that he likes, is the part that he gets to do the turkey pardoning.
So it's like, these are all the different categories of the media's response to things. It's either like, yay, now, is this the day Trump became president? Or it's like, Trump pardoned turkeys, but he seemed really guilty. And then you have this one, which is from Newsweek. Mr. President, please stick to pardoning turkeys. An opinion piece.
That's right. You hear that, Mr. President?
Yeah. Hey.
Mr. President, you're done.
Don't quit your day job and stick to pardoning turkeys.
That's right. But so, it wasn't until 1987 when the term pardon was used by the president.
Pardon.
1987, Ronald Reagan's the president. He's going through the Iran-Contra affair, which should have destroyed his presidency and driven him out of office.
The Alzheimer's is starting to set in.
Yeah, he's saying well a lot, to quote the Simpsons episode in our theme song. What do you know what? We should do an Iran-Contra episode. Do you know anything about the Iran-Contra thing?
We'll do an episode.
It just means it's interesting.
Yeah.
But so, one of the main guys in it, Oliver North, later president of the National Rifle Association.
Jesus. And who Kanye West named his daughter after.
That's right, yeah. Oliver Northwest. He hadn't been tried yet, although he actually was tried ultimately for his role in this and found guilty. But during the turkey Thanksgiving ceremony, Ronald Reagan made a joke about like, well, you know, you think I'm going to pardon Oliver, I'll pardon this turkey. No dying for the turkey.
Then it was like, extra.
Yeah.
Reagan, President's turkey. I think I said President's turkey. I don't know.
President's turkey.
We'll have to check the tape.
And then the next year, 2 years later, in 1989, because the next year, 1988, no references to pardons. Because there's no Iran-Contra, there's no goof, there's no jape, there's no bit. But in 1989, George
Taylor Swift album.
Herbert Walker Poppy Bush is president. And he makes it official. The president pardons a turkey. The president pardons a turkey. And he put it in a speech where he said, I give this turkey a presidential pardon. But interestingly, he didn't care about the words. His speechwriter was like, should we say it's a reprieve? Should we say you're just letting him go? Should we say it's a pardon? And he was like, I don't care! And so they pardoned, and that's what stuck. And they've done it every year since. They've pardoned a turkey.
Turkey reprieve doesn't sound as good.
We're giving this turkey a reprieve. Most of so usually they're presented with 2 turkeys, and they pardon 1.
2 turkeys to paradise.
That's right. Usually the turkeys both turkeys survive, like we said earlier. Usually they're both sent to a farm or whatever.
Sent to a farm. In quotes.
They actually track where they are and see how they're doing. From 2005 to 2009, interestingly, the pardoned turkeys, so that would be corn this year, were sent to Disneyland, where they would serve as the honorary Grand Marshal of the Thanksgiving Day Parade at Disneyland.
Like Punxsutawney Phil.
Exactly.
I love the idea of like someone having to ship these turkeys around, which is very like that episode of The West Wing. Like she has to escort the turkey because it really feels
like a special
like
turkey. You gotta like keep your eye on this one turkey.
Exactly. I feel like they could just use another turkey, a turkey body double, like Melania, and then they're like, "Here's that turkey," and someone's like, "Oh, his left feather's too blue," and then
from 2010 to 2012, they were sent to live on Mount Vernon, George Washington's old estate. They had to stop though. Because what's the organization? Just the Historical Society?
PETA?
Not PETA. Mount Vernon has a commitment to historical accuracy with their reputation, and Washington never owned turkeys, so they were like,
only slaves. Sorry.
Yeah, just people.
Send us your best slaves, but no turkeys.
Yeah, some historical accuracy.
Oh my god.
And this year they're going to Iowa State University.
This is just going to Ohio. I'm like,
Yeah, and then now they're getting a nice little house in Cincinnati.
Now they're getting a degree.
They're going to the Ashtabula Valley. Yeah, they're going to Iowa State.
Legally Bird.
Legally Bird. Starring Larry Bird. Would you like to hear some of the names? Last couple of years?
Yes.
I'll go back to the George W. Bush presidency.
Okay.
Because there was Liberty and Freedom in 2001 to honor the brave fallen of 9/11.
Oh,
Liberty
God.
and Freedom. Liberty and Freedom.
So you have to choose, like, do I prefer our liberty, or am I gonna kill our freedom?
That's right. Oh, this is fun, actually. You should guess which one was pardoned.
Okay.
So Liberty or Freedom?
Freedom.
Liberty was pardoned.
God damn it.
Katie and Zach.
Wow, that's weird.
Named after the chairman of the National Turkey Federation's children. He bred them himself. They were his personal ones.
So it's like, here, which child of mine are you gonna kill?
Yeah, I gotta lose one. So which one?
Katie.
Katie was pardoned. The first ever female turkey to be pardoned.
Yes,
and who
queen.
says the Republicans are not good on diversity?
I like the idea of that's the first female to be pardoned, female turkey, and it was the like Eileen Wuornos of turkey.
yeah.
Like a fucking murderous turkey. It was like, should she go? You know what's fucked up is Trump is rushing some executions before he leaves office.
Is he?
Including, I think, the first federal female execution.
Women
and
really can have it all.
It's that woman who like killed a pregnant woman and took the baby out.
Jesus.
Yeah, so like, but she was, having a psychotic break or something.
Yeah.
It's like she believed she was pregnant, and then
I've heard about this, I think.
Yeah, so that woman, so it's really tragic.
Did you see that he also wants to bring back execution by firing squad?
Did he say that?
He's actually trying to do that, yeah.
I mean. Okay.
Look.
I don't think we should have execution by firing squad, but it might be more painless.
I guarantee you it's more humane than lethal
injection. It's more humane than lethal injection.
And look, I think we should just get rid of the death penalty. Too many innocent. If one innocent person dies from it, it's unacceptable for the state to do. And we know that they have. So get rid of it until you have precogs, like in Minority Report, that can say with 100% certainty what happened. Just kidding. Just get rid of it. But if you have to choose between electrocution, lethal injection, or a firing squad, upright, shoulders back, right, blindfold on, I'm going firing squad, 100%.
Okay, Trump bad. When you don't read about the executions, or I guess do, so you can
read about the stuff from
tweet
lethal
it.
Injection recently. There's been some updates on this.
Yeah, but it's really messed up that he's trying to rush these in before Biden gets in. Like, I guess his
he's just trying to do anything.
Yeah, he's just trying to exert his power, but it's like, that's really... And I've barely heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't really heard about it either.
So it's really messed up. Anyway, back
So,
to the
stars
turkeys.
and stripes.
Let's talk turkey. Okay,
I'm presenting to you.
Stripes.
Stars and stripes. Okay.
Because of the movie.
Stars.
God damn. I think
Because
it's
of
just
the
the
Canadian
first
interlock,
one listed is the one.
Biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits.
That's correct. Yam and marshmallow.
Yam.
No, I
Fuck.
switched them.
You did that to me on purpose.
Yeah, I did.
Suck it to
marshmallow.
me? Oh my god.
Fryer and flyer.
Flyer?
Flyer.
Fryer has
May
to go in the fryer.
And flour.
May.
That's right. Pumpkin and pecan.
Pumpkin?
Actually, pecan got sick the night before. That was one I was going to.
Oh my god.
And so pumpkin was allowed to serve as the vice pardoned turkey.
As the understudy.
Yeah, and they were both allowed to live.
They were like, no one wants to eat this sick turkey. Sick pecan.
All right, Carolina and courage. This is Obama's first year. Does he pick courage or does he pick Carolina?
He doesn't want to cause controversy, so maybe he picks Carolina.
He picks courage.
Wow. He
What
picks
apple
hope.
cider? Apple and cider.
Apple.
Correct. Liberty and peace.
Obama chooses liberty.
He does.
So he can
Because I've
drone
seen
strike.
his foreign policy record.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Blinken. They should do the peace and freedom party. Cobbler and gobbler. Both 40-pounders.
Gobbler? Is it Gobbler, Kyle?
She doesn't say, but does say they both died.
What? What happened?
Gobbler died suddenly the next February.
Wait, okay, so it lived for a while.
And Cobbler was euthanized that August. I'm guessing
That August
for
meaning,
murder?
so it lived, by firing squad.
Yeah.
How long do turkeys live in the first place? Because the
That's
fact
not
that
it.
they died suddenly, but like made it a while, or well,
3 to 5 years.
okay, but maybe these were young turkeys.
Cut down in their prime. Popcorn and caramel.
Popcorn.
Popcorn. They both lived for a bit.
Oh my god, they all only lived for a bit.
Mac and cheese.
Cheese.
Yep. Cheese. Wow.
What?
Both Mac and popcorn died of heat stroke.
What? Where were these turkeys that it was so hot that they died? Like, they belong outside. They've got feathers to protect them.
They're in Virginia somewhere.
I feel like someone mishandled those turkeys.
Or maybe they just dive it a lot.
I think it's turkeys that when it rains, they like stick their head up and they drown in the rainwater.
No, that's me.
Okay.
Honest Abe, we're almost done.
Is this a Trump year or Obama? He got
Obama.
8 years. 8 years, 8 turkeys. Honest or Abe?
Mhm.
Honest.
Abe.
Abe. Okay.
Tater and Tot.
Tater.
Doesn't actually say. It says they were both still alive and healthy as of November 2017, and then they died.
Okay.
Now we're Trump. Wishbone and drumstick.
Oh gosh. Wishbone?
Drumstick.
Wow.
Peas and carrots, we know.
Okay, is that it?
As of last year, peas and carrots are still alive.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Butter and bread.
Ooh, what did he choose?
Butter. Always butter. And of course this year is corn and cop. And those are... Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yay! Insert people applauding.
Yeah.
The whole audience.
Yeah, great job.
I will say that we are having a vegan Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
So I think that's
All this Turk talk's really
appropriate.
making me want some Turk.
Yeah,
but it's
my
also making me feel
mom's
better.
been a vegetarian since the 80s, maybe 70s. And she's finally asserting herself. And now that it's so socially acceptable to be vegetarian and vegan, so she has banned most turkey imagery from the house.
Yeah.
Because it upsets her, because she thinks about the plight of all those little fowl friends. And I did a little painting last year of a turkey, and I had it out, and she told me to get rid of it. Which
Like
is
like the Allied powers of World War One, this is a Turk-free zone.
exactly. And
Like the current EU, this is a Turk-free zone.
yes. And we had this bag of stuffed animal turkeys in the garage, and my mom was like, "Get rid of all of them. It's gross." And then I took one out of the bag, and it was wearing like a little pilgrim dress and a bonnet. She's like, "It's so cute. Let's keep it."
We pardoned that one.
We pardoned that one.
Oh, that's nice.
We did find of our old Thanksgiving decorations, male pilgrim with a beard and a bayonet, and he's holding a turkey. And she was like, "Get this patriarchy bullshit, murderous." She was like, "Get it out." So I think we threw it out, or maybe we sold it. And we had a windsock of like a male pilgrim, and we got rid of it. We found my old pilgrim Barbie that I had as a kid, and she was like, "It can stay, but it has to be the good witch of, I don't know, the Mayflower." So, yeah, so we're just having it's a new age. I mean, of course, we've been eating turkey like the rest of the week,
Yeah, of course.
but tomorrow,
Tomorrow will be good.
no turkey. So, be kind to your fellow feathered friends. Don't eat them unless you're starving and you
Turks
want
are
to.
friends, not food.
Yeah. Think about, as you dig in, think about the plight of all of those turkeys
That's
through the
right.
years that we just gave names. So, Kyle, what are you thankful for this year?
Well, I've really found that I'm thankful for everything that I have. I think that this year has
All
shown
your
us-
gold bullion.
I am, of course, referring to my gold bullion that I've buried somewhere in the California deserts. Somewhere deep in the Mojave. No, this year has been a lot, and it's taught me to be thankful more for everything that we are lucky enough to have, including each other.
I agree. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
You know, I like stuffing a lot. I'm a big stuff man. I like any potato dish. Any dish with potatoes, I'm pretty much into. I love a mash. I love a gratin.
An Ina Gratin.
An eine gratin.
Ina Garden. Barefoot Contessa, right?
You know what? My favorite is the Thanksgiving sandwich the next day. With the turkey, with the cranberry sauce, with the mashed potatoes and the gravy on a Hawaiian roll. Some stuffing. Oh.
That's America in a sandwich.
Are you kidding me? Give me that gobbler, baby.
Give me that gobbler.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Dude, I don't know, but I spent all day yesterday cutting up these giant pumpkins that we've had because it felt real. My mom was like, throw them out. And I was like, that's not very witchy. So I cut them all up and gutted them. I have the pumpkin seeds. I'm going to roast them. And then I roasted the pumpkin innards, and I'm going to puree them. I can turn them into curry. I can turn it into pumpkin pie, etc. I mixed some with pasta last night. It was great. I fed it to the dogs. They're pooping all weird. I love things with pumpkin in them. I've always loved sweet potatoes, but I'm a little sick of it right now. So I guess, yeah, I like the combination of everything. The cranberry sauce mixed with the stuffing, mixed with the etc. Things with cheese. And the love of Thanksgiving dessert.
Are you about ready to call it on this one, Luch?
Yeah, I think we should come up with a Thanksgiving carol. There once was a Squanto.
Once was a pilgrim.
Squanto was like, I was enslaved. Won't you come and make some maize? Do, 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 do.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Then they all gathered round the big piece of wood that I assume was a table. And they didn't know it would become a fable.
But they ate as much as they were able.
They ate a lobster, ate a swan, maybe a turkey, maybe not. And
Then they had heaping piles of maize.
now it's becoming a Disney song.
Yeah.
And the dinner here is never second best.
So grab some stuffing, mash some potatoes, and
Thanksgiving, don't sue
Thanksgiving.
us.
don't
Disney,
travel.
Don't travel. And then we fast forward to the times where Abraham Lincoln said, make this Thanksgiving. And then Ulysses S. Grant said, it shall be Thanksgiving. And then,
My name is Abraham Lincoln, and I think you should eat some fun.
my name's Ulysses S. Grant. I'm always drunk. I have a beard.
My name's Harry S. Truman. I'm sorry I told you not to eat meat.
And then there was it Eisenhower who ate the turkeys?
My name's Dwight Eisenhower, and I'm going to eat these turkeys.
And then we had Richard Nixon. Well, first we had Kennedy, and Kennedy went, I'm not gonna eat these turkeys, and he got.
Gobble, gobble, got, gobble, gobble, got.
Pow. Then we had Richard Nixon, and he said, the fix is in.
Oh, I'm not gonna eat these turkeys.
Fast forward,
We
Barack Obama, hope and freedom, peace and change.
be eating.
And then,
And now it's Trump. And I love the turkeys.
so when you gather to eat your meal, we hope that in your heart you feel thankful,
Connected
grateful,
and full.
reflective,
So gassy.
and then
You watch football,
or maybe Macy's Day Parade.
which airs before the football games.
But maybe you missed it and you watch it on YouTube.
We will figure out what to do.
And then you get ready for the holidays, like Christmas or
Black Friday.
Are you gonna line up for the new TV?
Okay, we have to stop. We're done. We're pulling it. Happy Turkey Day,
Happy
everyone.
Turkey Day.
Bye-bye.
Bark, bark. A turkey in every...
A turkey on every plate.
No.
Yeah. Chop it, chop it, chop it, chop, chop, chop. Bye.
Bye.